Bang, bang. Let's do this thing. Heidi ho, my good friends. It is the Southern Fried Gentleman, J Dizzle, JD Wyatt, your main man, coming to you live here on this beautiful Monday. Y'all, we survived Monday. We survived. It was Monday. Man, I had a tough one. Thankfully, I had some extra dinner cooked. Man, I was able to shower. Everybody's good here at the Wyatt household. I hope you are. And y'all, listen, I had a very interesting question come to my mind just yesterday, I think it was. Somebody was talking about Colin Kaepernick again and how he wants to return to the NFL again. I think his best shot now is, as reported, he might become Harbaugh's new quarterback coach, maybe, there in Los Angeles Chargers. I almost said San Diego. So how in the world, though, could Colin Kaepernick create a Clemson question in my mind? I don't know. You might have to stay tuned for that one because I have a very interesting question for Clemson fans coming up. As I said, don't forget to follow me on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, at JDWyatt06. Thank you for being here. I'm going to need some comments. I'm going to need some viewers. We're also going to talk about MLB playoffs, probability, and this new pitching rule. Yeah, we got to talk about the new pitching rule, which I have a story to talk about. So hopefully y'all stay tuned for that because this story is kind of an embarrassing one, so you won't want to miss it. And then, we got to go over my fantasy football team. We got to go over what I ended up with so you guys can be the judge. Tell me exactly what I did right, what I did wrong. I'm sure I did a lot more things wrong than I did right. My expert, Shane Barrett, I tried to take a few of his tips. They did not work. So without further ado, though, let's dive into, I don't have enough viewers yet, so I'm not going to waste my best subject until I get a few viewers in here. So let's go with MLB. Alrighty. Have y'all seen the new rule that could potentially be posed by Major League where the starting pitcher has to pitch at least 6 innings? All right, and so immediately a few questions popped into my mind. How many runs does he have to give up before they pull him? Is there a rule on that? If the dude's just walking every batter and, giving up tons of runs, I got to leave him in there for 6 innings. So, I had a few questions that popped in my mind initially when I heard the rule. And so it turns out, though, that starting pitchers, according to this new rule, if implemented, would have to pitch at least 6 innings. And the only way that they could get out of those 6 innings are by injury or by giving up more than 4 earned runs. Which brought me to my story, though. So, good old JD here. I was a pitcher my junior year and my senior year of high school baseball. But my junior year, my very first start, yikes. It did not go very well. I pitched 2/3 of an inning, and I regret to inform everybody of this information. But I gave up 8 runs in those 2/3 of an inning. And man, I'm telling you, I was throwing strikes. I was, wheeling and dealing, 3/4 arm angle, curveball, fastball, changeup. Man, it didn't matter. Whatever I threw up there, they were hitting it that particular day. So yeah, I didn't even make it out of the first inning of my first start my junior year, which granted I did finish up a little stronger on the back end. I did improve, as I intend to do here on Southern Fried Sports. I tend to improve each and every episode. So yeah, man, I gave up all those runs. I had a 56 ERA. And so that was the first thing that popped in my mind, is like, wait a minute. What if they just required the pitcher to pitch 6 innings no matter what? Unless it's maybe like a pitch count restriction or an injury. Who cares how many runs it gives up? If we see a 28-6 baseball game, I'm pretty sure nobody's going to be upset about it. We've all longed for more offense. That's why the NFL has become what it's become. Almost the no tackle league. I mean, they want more points scored. Same thing with hockey. They made the nets just a little bit bigger to induce more scoring. And now you're seeing, 6-4 hockey games and things like that. But I feel like this requirement coming down from the MLB, quite honestly, I think the MLB is afraid that pitchers might become the next running back position of the NFL, where teams feel they could grab whomever and get them to pitch 2 or 3 innings, a la the bullpen games that we see and that rotational starter that we see almost everywhere. And so I think the MLB, though, at this point, I think they're reaching. They are reaching. They are trying to do anything they can to stay relevant, except for what actually needs to be done. Limiting these pitchers or saying they need to pitch 6 innings, that doesn't do anything but help the ball clubs that are paying them $250 million. And so, as a matter of fact, here, a couple of stats for you. This year, the average starting pitcher pitches for 5 1/3 an inning. So do that math. 3 outs per inning, 5 innings. That's 15 outs. Add the 0.1, which, yeah, they do it weird. It should be 15.3 or 5.3 because there's 3 outs in an inning, 1/3. But for whatever reason, they call 5.1 innings, 5 innings, and then 1 out. So starting pitchers are averaging 16 outs, though, this year. And so you're leaving the bullpen, though, to get 11 outs. But I'm pretty sure there ain't nobody in the bullpen getting paid like starting pitchers. So why is it that I'm paying all these starting pitchers all this money, but they're barely getting me 2/3 of the outs I need to get through a game? Right? Like I said, the 16 outs is the average. So there's some starting pitchers that are getting 9 outs or 12 outs, but they're making more money probably than most of the bullpen guys. And so I think the MLB might be out in front of this a little bit, but I also think they're trying to overmanage it a little bit, in my opinion, because they're just trying to keep starting pitching from becoming irrelevant. And when you start making all these new rules and everything, What did you expect, baseball? What did y'all really expect? And so this new pitching rule, though, is crazy. Hey, what do you guys think? Am I right? Am I wrong? Am I crazy? Let's see if there was something else I wanted to tell you about regarding the baseball rule. I don't believe so. So the other thing I wanted to get to before I hit a quick break, make sure to get your comments in. I don't see any comments. Y'all, let me know what you are thinking. Don't forget to like, follow, share, tell a friend. I'm going to try to have the best talk that I possibly can. Excuse me. So let's talk about probability to make it into the playoffs. And now I will admit, I did start to do this research, but I kind of felt like someone had already done it for me. And so I found a really cool website, y'all. I really did. And I wanted to mainly get into the Braves. So as of now, I'm going to go over the probability, the records, and all that stuff for the Phillies and the Braves, starting with the NL East teams. Wow, words are hard. What a fail, JD. That's going on a recording. We'll make sure to share that out. God, that was embarrassing. Let's start with the NL East teams. See, I can do this. I promise. So the Phillies, though, right now stand at 73 and 51. 88.4% chance to win the division. So pretty much locked up. What's even more locked up is their chance to make the playoffs. 99.4% Phillies. And they're coming in at 12.2% chances of winning the World Series. And now we all know how probability and statistics go, all right? They Mark, thank you for being here. Appreciate you. I will not read that one because I don't want to say it. Go Braves. But I appreciate your fandom. So they probability and statistics, though, they are what they are, right? Sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong. Here we go, though. I told you I wanted to tell you about the Braves. We still got a chance. About that much, but we still got a chance. All right, so the Braves right now are 66 and 58. They have a 10.7% chance to win the division. 81.5% to make the playoffs. 7.5% chance to win the World Series. And then you got the Mets under them, though. Mets, 21.8% chance to make the playoffs. Only a 0.7 chance, though, to win the World Series. And then, are there any other teams you wanted to hear about? We've got the Brewers. I didn't pick them being good this year. They're at a 98.5% chance to win their division. 99% to make the playoffs. But only a 3.9% chance to win the World Series. So let me find the higher odds on the World Series. All right, so here we go. Yankees. 15% chance to win the World Series. And then you've got the Dodgers. coming in a little above the Yankees, 15.3% chance to win the World Series. And so, with all the injuries, yeah, as a Braves fan, as a Braves watcher, analyst, I use that word loosely. Either we're going to go on a run or the wheels are going to come off. I can't quite tell yet. I'm more leaning 60% chance, if you will, for the wheels to most likely come off on the Braves. And I do hate to say that. But these probability and statistics, man, that I found here were really interesting. The Padres, I didn't mention, 17% chance to win their division. 94% to make the playoffs. And they've also got the D-backs there. 87.5% chance to make the playoffs. And I think as of now, the NL West and the AL East are the two closest in highest probability of winning the World Series. So, Southern Fried Sports is telling you, by the math that I'm looking at, JD is telling you, the winner of the World Series is going to be the Yankees, the Orioles, the Phillies, the Diamondbacks, or the Dodgers, or the Brewers, or the Braves, or the Rangers, or the Astros. I don't know. But that was fun, hearing all those probability numbers. Y'all, hey, I'm just getting started. I'm fixing to ask that Clemson question. Let me get a couple of comments in here. Mark, my man, says, I am stunned that the Braves have been as good as they were this season with all the injuries. We've also seen, from a Braves perspective, we've seen a lot of runners left on base. We've hit into the most double plays in this last month. I think we beat the record by 4 as far as double plays this month. It's either home run or strikeout. And that's just not a good way to approach hitting, in my opinion. I was a contact hitter. So I obviously wanted to, put the ball in play, make the defense earn it. And I don't know what's gone wrong with the Braves this year with their hitting. And then we've got Mark, one more. It's cool, man. You can swing by the house, have a beer, watch Phillies in the playoffs. Yeah. I tell you what, we'll probably be watching Gamecocks football if I come by and have that beer. We maybe can flip it back and forth between a Phillies playoff game and some Gamecock / Clemson Tiger football. So, hey, Clemson fans, it's time to get rowdy. Time to get difficult. I'll be right back with my most difficult question of the week. Alrighty, Southern Fried Sports is back. It's your man, JD, the Southern Fried Gentleman. Big thank you to my man, Rowdy Rooster, SQ, Mark, Brandon, Shane Barrett, which, hey, we had a great fantasy football episode the other day with Shane Barrett. It was tremendous. He gave me lots of tips. We're going to go over fantasy football here in just a moment. Pardon me. Had to clear my throat there a little bit. But yeah, Shane Barrett. I've got plenty more guests coming up, though. I've got a Panthers guest. I've got high school football coaches. You name it, we're going to get them on here, and I want to hear y'all's thoughts. All right, so without further ado, it is time for the most difficult question of the week. And as I teased at the beginning of the show, I said, how in the world could Colin Kaepernick make me think about something to do with Clemson football? And I'm so glad you asked, because he's been out of the game for 8 years. Okay? Deshaun Watson, in a sense, has been out of the game for quite a few years. And so, obviously, we're not bringing back Colin Kaepernick. You know what I mean? It's been 8 years. But I was very curious, Clemson fans. Do you guys still care if Deshaun Watson is able to return to his form prior to going to the Cleveland Browns? Do you guys still hope that he has success as a former Clemson Tiger, one that won you national championships? Do you guys care if he can put all of this past behind him and continue on the trajectory that he was on previously? Because we all remember Deshaun drafted ahead of Mahomes. Trubisky was taken in front of both of them. Texans went up, grabbed Watson. Chiefs grabbed Mahomes. And they both, Deshaun and Patrick Mahomes, were set up to be the two best quarterbacks in the AFC for quite some time. Brian, hey, welcome. Good evening to you, sir. This question is for you, Clemson fan, Brian. So, I mean, again, though, do y'all care if Deshaun gets back to where he was prior? Do you want him to? I mean, I do, because I've always kind of rooted for the Browns. I still can't believe they gave this dude 4 years, $250 million with a suspension upcoming. And so they had to backdate his pay. And so I just wanted to go over some of Deshaun's stats, though. Man. Rookie year 2017. 61.8% completion percentage. 1,699 yards. 8.3 average, 19 touchdowns, 8 interceptions in 7 games. In 7 games, he did that. And yeah, Brian, I'm here with you, man. I want to see people have success. I would love to see Deshaun and Trevor both do great. Now that they don't have to play me on Saturday in November as a Gamecock fan. But then, hey, Deshaun, 2018, 16 games, 68.3% completion percentage, almost 4,200 yards, 26 touchdowns, 9 picks. And then he duplicated it the next year. Played 16 games in 2018. Played 15 games in 2019. And then here we go, 2020. That's where it started going downhill. He did actually have his best completion percent. No, I'm lying. Wasn't 2020. It was 2021 when he was suspended. 2020, he had a very good campaign. 70.2% completion percentage, 4,800 yards, 33 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. And then here we go. Last 2 years. Cleveland, 2022, 2023. 6 games played, 2,200 yards total, 14 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. I think he's been out of the game too long, y'all. Out of practice. And I've got dirty C words that I use here on the show sometimes. Chemistry, culture, commitment, competition. Deshaun has been lacking in competing in the competition. He hasn't played in real games really that much. He spent most of his time up in the suite, in the press box. Clemson fans, though, did I get your claws out a little bit with that one? Do you think Deshaun can return to Houston Texan form? And do you even care? Am I wasting my time even asking that question? Because me as a Gamecock, I'd be fine if Deshaun got successful again on the field. Now, I'm still not going to condone, whatever happened or anything like that. But I am very intrigued with Cleveland paying him the money he's playing, man. If he doesn't do something this year, it'll be his 3rd out of the 4th year of the contract, I think. Cleveland might shop him, and I don't think there will be anybody there to take him. Not one bit. I don't. Not unless he plays very well this year. And so with all that said, though, Clemson fans, hey, comment. Let me know. Do you think Deshaun Watson will be who he was in 2020 for the Houston Texans? I hope so, but I doubt it. And with all that said, my bad. With all that said, we have one more segment to get to. It's my fantasy football team. It's time for you to grade me on my picks. Thank y'all for being here. Make sure to like, follow, share, subscribe, and I'll be right back. Hello, I am back. Check out the logo here. I've got a new updated logo that will be coming soon. Y'all give me just one more moment. Let me get a few things right on my side. I've got a few comments to catch up on. I have a little bit going on in the background, but y'all give me just 1 second. Check out this logo. Let me know what you think. And then, hey, we're going to talk fantasy football right now in just one moment. Hello. Sorry about that. My bad. Appreciate y'all being here. Let's see here. Comment wise. Brian got a C on his draft. Yeah, as did I. As did I. I did get a C as well. Man, I'll tell you what. Picking 11th in the draft out of 12 people was very difficult. I wanted to go running back in that first round. I wanted to go running back that first round. None of the guys that I wanted were there at that particular time. And so I ended up going wide receiver, though, 11th with A.J. Brown. And then I did do a stunner move. Shane Barrett called me crazy. But as he said, I was trying to force some of the talent back to me by maybe putting people in a panic. And so I took Lamar Jackson, though, number 13 overall. I'm good with it. I think I have enough sleepers. And I even have 5 of the top 40 players on my squad, according to someone. I'll let you know who that is in just a minute. But yeah, just to go down. So right now I've got Lamar Jackson, Joe Mixon, Ramondre Stevenson, New England running back. I've got A.J. Brown, Nico Collins. I've got Dallas Goedert, Godert. I don't know how you pronounce it. Tight end for Philadelphia. I've got Malik Neighbors. I also have Evan McPherson. I've got Jalen Warren. I've got Jordan Addison, whom I know is questionable. I'm really worried about that one. Man, if Jordan Addison comes out to be okay, gosh, he's going to be a great addition to my team. I've also got TJ Hawkinson, also questionable. Man, I need both of those Minnesota players to be okay. I've got Tua Tagovailoa as my backup. I've also got Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who is also questionable with an injury. And then I've also got Joshua Palmer, Los Angeles Chargers wide receiver. And so as it stands right now, y'all, it looks like I am going to be a Minnesota Vikings fan, a Houston fan, Minnesota Vikings, with a smidge of Chief in there. That's the crazy thing about fantasy football, man. Makes you root for teams that you wouldn't necessarily ever root for just because you have, a vested interest in it. I mean, am I right? Do you guys find yourself rooting for teams that, you wouldn't necessarily root for if you didn't have a fantasy football player on their team? And so, yep, I got Brian, like I said. He said he got a C. Oh, wait, here. He said he's got a C on his draft. I did as well. I think our C's can turn into A's. I do. Ooh. Ukulele has played in 48 games, boasts a 30-10 record as starting quarterback. He has passed for 8,319 yards, 57 touchdowns. Yeah, I hate to inform Clemson fans of this, but that whole rematch with DJU and Clemson, that's got to be one of my most fascinating matchups of the year. It really does. You've got Dabo, who refuses to use the transfer portal. I'm also surprised that Dabo did not do the same thing that Boise State coach did, where he said freshmen can't get NIL money. I'm really shocked that wasn't a route that Dabo took. I could totally see him doing that. I don't know why he didn't already. Florida State lost a good bit of talent. It's going to be time to see if Norvell is really the coach that everybody thinks he is. In my opinion. So, man, dude, yeah, Clemson, Florida State, DJU, Cade Klubnik, man, Dabo, Norvell, man, I'm telling you what, that is the type of game the storylines write themselves. And hey, y'all, get ready. We are not far off from football. I mean, like I just told you, I've drafted a fantasy team. I'm going to have to make some trips to North Carolina over the next couple of weeks to place some wagers. No, I'm just playing. I ain't got that money. I'm kidding. I might can go bet some peanuts or some leftover dinner, but got no money to be wagering on college football. Now, if you want to bet on a sure thing, you can bet on me. You can bet on Southern Fried Sports. Being here to entertain you, give you a good few tips, good few stats. I hope that y'all have had a wonderful time. It is time for me, though, to go do my fatherly duties. Y'all be blessed. Y'all follow right here. Oh, yeah. Hey, I forgot. Guest. You already know I had Cole, Shane, Brian. I've got a Clemson person coming. Got a Carolina Panther person coming. I got high school football coaches. You name it. I'm going to cover it right here on Southern Fried Sports. Submit me topics. Submit me players. Submit me storylines. I welcome any and all interaction. Follow me on X, JDWyatt06. Hit me with the subscribe on YouTube. It's free. Totally free. Just takes the click of a button. But as I was saying, y'all be blessed. Don't be stressed. Be kind. Dang it. Be nice to one another. And I'll see y'all soon. We survived Monday. We're out.